Yo, Freak Show, how you freaking doing? Call of Duty Cold War just dropped. Let's give some first impressions. This is going to be for multiplayer, but here we go. Now, guys, this is not usually how I play the game in general. Usually I would go through the campaign and try to play through the entire campaign, know the entire story, then move into a multiplayer type scenario and play all of that. But considering the position that I'm in now, I went straight into multiplayer. I've tickled on the zombies. We'll have another video on zombies. But these are my first impressions. This isn't a entire review of anything. These are just my first impressions on what I'm excited for, on what I think should be different, and things that I feel have changed since what I've played in the beta and that sort of stuff. So first off, getting into it, multiplayer I feel like is mainly fun. There are a few issues that I have with it. Hardcore is absolutely trash and I hate it, but I feel like I'll get to love it here in a minute, as far as when I play more and more and more, and you know, different metas come about, so on and so forth. All right, going in first, I was able to get to creative class system because I played the beta so much. I was able to do creative class right off the bat, which I felt was good, but at different times was detrimental. So I received a blueprint for a weapon that I hadn't unlocked yet, and so I played about 1 or 2 matches with that blueprinted weapon because it had attachments and it was going to be better than other guns or whatever. And when I did that, which I found very interesting, I just thought of something. I don't know if that was the gun that I was using during the beta the most, and that's the reason that I got it, because thinking about it, I feel like that might have been what it was. But on the flip side, because I think someone else said that they had a different weapon that they had. Anyway, whatever. Moving on from that. My blueprinted weapon was for a gun that I hadn't unlocked yet, so I was not gaining any XP on that gun, and I kind of wasted a little bit of time. For those of you that don't know or might be new here, I am a huge fan of going for the end camo as far as like dark matter or Damascus, or what else did we do? Platinum inside of WW2 and that sort of stuff. So ever since I returned to COD, I've been grinding out all the camos. We do have a very interesting setup for the camos on this one. There are 2 things that I find very interesting. They took the mantra of Call of Duty Modern Warfare in the sense that you have these different objectives that you need to do, as far as killing people, and then like headshots, and then like stunning an enemy or using a UAV to get them, or you know, this, that, or the other while using the gun. You need to have certain kills in certain ways instead of just the headshot mantra. Now, with that being said, there are very few camos inside of this game altogether. Modern Warfare, we had the most amount of guns with the most amount of camos for the entire set, making the Damascus grind very long. I feel like this game will be a much faster grind, meaning that in the next month or 2, I should be able to grab at least one of the camos. And when I say one of the camos, I mean, dark matter. There's a DM Ultra, which is kind of going along the MK Ultra, which is like the mind issue things that kind of Black Ops plays into with the CIA performing mind control type stuff. Anyway, you can like look that up if you want to. It gets into some like conspiratorial type stuff that is kind of like really far out there, and you wouldn't think that your government would do on, like perform experiments on civilians, that sort of stuff. But we're not here to talk about any of that. That's MK Ultra. Don't at me, anybody who wants to know anything about it. I know absolutely nothing. Anyway, so the DM Ultra is your first camo that is given to you after you complete all of the camo challenge for all the guns inside of multiplayer. And then there's actually a second one, which we'll talk about more, that is called the Aether Dark Matter, which is through zombies. So I'm really excited that they played into having camos for zombies. It makes zombies have more of a grind, a objective for me to actually get to. I'm a really big, I don't want to say loser, but I'm a really big sucker for just completing the Easter egg on a certain map for zombies and then never playing it again, and never caring about any of it again. So tying the weapon camos into zombies gameplay makes me want to play zombies a lot more, and gives me something to strive for, which is exciting for me. I'm really excited to move into that and do that on a regular basis. But this is back to multiplayer. Most of the maps have been okay. There's not a 3-lane on any of them. There's a lot of open area with a couple of boxes for hiding or behind stuff and that sort of thing. So you're not back into a modern or a World War II with a 3-lane highway, and there's always 3 lanes that you run down, and every map feels the exact same. It's just in a different setting. So you're not into that mode, which is pretty good. You're also not as far removed as Modern Warfare was, with the idea of having a very camperific multi-view area, as far as the fact of, like, you go around a corner and you see about 16 spots where someone could be sitting to shoot you. Now, this one does have the occasional spot where you go around a corner and there could be 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But most of the time when players are moving from the opposing team toward you, they only funnel into like 1 or 2 areas, unless you happen to find someone who's super camperific and likes to sit in a corner and just be in the most awkward of spots. Does happen from time to time. And the idea of camping, I know that we're really, really early and this is first impressions type thing, but hardcore is filled with camping, lack of a better term, losers. I know it's not even like derogatory, but I don't like being derogatory. Anyway, with that being said, hardcore is full of campers. They sit and watch a funnel spot and just shoot that. I was having some of my worst gameplay happening at the beginning with that, and just constantly having people either have some great COD timing in the fact that they were able to come out a door at the same time that I was running in the door, and therefore being able to hit me, or we had a problem with people literally just sitting in a head peek or the head glitch. I don't want to say head glitch. It's just like there's a line of sight, right? And all you can see is this tiny little head. And it was very frustrating for me at different times during hardcore, because it was just first see, first shot. And everybody was camping, and I'm running around the map trying to like make a cool play, or like, flip around here and shoot around here and shoot around here. And everybody was just camping in corners. And so I got very frustrated trying to constantly, try to take out a camper. Pretty sure because my internet's crappy, but that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, so overall, what do I feel about multiplayer in general? I feel like the play is much more reminiscent of an arcadic style that brings it back into boots on the ground, sliding, jumping around corner type thing that Call of Duty used to perpetuate back before Modern Warfare, WW2 area, or even in the WW2 area, and not having to deal with any of the jetpack type stuff. It really brought it back for me, back to Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 type stuff. Where you're just playing the map, and you have different lines, different angles that you have to watch out for, but you don't have like super campy areas as far as having to mount on stuff. You don't have anyway. So I feel like it's a really good game. I feel like I have a lot of fun with it. I really enjoy it. With there being 2 different Dark Matters, I have a lot to grind for. I have a lot to play, and so I've been enjoying it for the most part, and I'm excited to get in and play. But on the flip side, there are some very detrimental, mainly just regular COD type things that get you kind of angrier, kind of rough. But I think multiplayer has a good foot to stand on. We'll see how it goes, how it progresses down the way with metas and it being introduced and all of that sort of stuff. And I will try to throw as much of that information into a final review for the entire game. But for this subsection of multiplayer, I feel like this is a very fun mode and a very, very good game that they've developed. There was an enhancement for sound and a little bit of enhancement for visuals from the beta. So there is a little bit of work that has been done, nothing too miraculous, and I don't think that there is a very overwhelming sense of development that has happened as far as being as massive as as Modern Warfare, or being as ambitious as what they did with their game. So with all that being said, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I think multiplayer is pretty good. Tell me what you think down below in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. If you're first time here, think about hitting that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And if you've seen me a couple of times, I would really love for you to hit the subscribe button and become part of the Freak Show that comes by generally and just, says some kind words for me. I would really, really appreciate it. Anyway, If you guys want to watch me on Twitch, I stream on Twitch every single day from 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time till 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Would love for you guys to stop by and say hi. Other than that, I don't have anything else to tell you. Have a wonderful day. I will catch you in the next video. Deuces.